Hey you guys, it is William calling from Wee Wee Blogs. Another video we didn't want to film, another video you didn't want to watch. The Eurovision Song Contest 2020 has finally and officially been cancelled. This is as governments all over the world move towards a lockdown to slow the spread of coronavirus. This is obviously really upsetting news for Eurovision fans, for artists who are going to participate, for the show's organizers, for city officials, and so many other people. But I hope we can remember this is in the name of public health, and we should take it as a positive sign, actually, that governments and authorities are doing what they can to keep us all safe and healthy, so we can look forward to an amazing Eurovision in 2021, potentially, possibly, probably in Rotterdam. I think we got to talk about it. Before we dive into this, I just want to reiterate that public health comes first and that I think the right decision was made. It can appear silly to some people that we're talking about a song contest when so many other horrible things have happened in recent weeks and recent months. But the fact is, music can really help people through difficult times. So I think a lot of people were looking forward to Eurovision as a way to take their mind off of the ongoing pandemic. Last night I was working from about 9 p.m. until 7:30 a.m. at my day job overnight, funny enough, reading news about the coronavirus. And all night I just felt this unease, and we knew the announcement was coming. And so I gave a blogger my phone number on Team Wee Blogs, hey Angus, and I was like, please call me once it's confirmed because I will be asleep when the news drops. And he did call me and woke me up. And even though, again, we knew it was happening, I just felt this sense of shock. In recent years, Eurovision, survived the arrival of missiles in southern Israel just 2 weeks before the show. In 2017, it survived the instability of Ukraine's ongoing conflict with Russia. And yet now this virus that we can't even physically see, it's in a way taken down this year's edition of the contest. I just can't believe it. I immediately checked my email and I had all these messages, Eurovision is canceled, Eurovision is canceled, Eurovision is canceled. And while I am so grateful to have my health, and I'm so grateful that people are taking the right steps to protect public health, that is so key, it still comes as a big shock. I'm just sending so much love to Dutch Eurovision fans. I was in Rotterdam with my sister just a few weeks ago. We were filming travel videos, and there was so much enthusiasm and excitement everywhere we went. When we checked into a hotel, people asked why we were there. We said we were there for Eurovision stuff. And people's faces lit up. People were really excited and just so thrilled to be sharing their community and what's cool about where they live with all of us. And I just felt this deep connection. The enthusiasm in the Netherlands was so next level. And I really do think that enthusiasm will carry over into next year. It seems so silly to get upset about a song contest when people are losing family members. And people are getting ill, and you see elderly people not doing well in hospital. But again, it's just that whole idea that Eurovision brings all of us together. I'm not even European. I grew up in the United States, and the song contest has been like a tsunami in my life, sort of taking over nearly every aspect of my life. And so many of my fellow bloggers are dear friends. So many of the people we interact with on Twitter have become dear friends. And it just feels surreal that we're gonna miss out on coming together in 2020. I mean, I'm looking forward to 2021, and I know that show is going to be even bigger and even better because Rotterdam will have more time to plan and, execute the existing plans that they already have. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. And I just hope everyone stays healthy and happy as we look forward to that. And hopefully many of the artists from this year who sadly aren't getting their moment now will get it next year. You know what? They can choose new songs. And maybe some of them will say, well, in fact, I think all of them will have to, because you don't want to perform a stale song at Eurovision in the future. You'll want something fresh and contemporary. And I think a lot of artists will use the experience they've had this year almost as like a first start. It was a test run, and now they can improve on things maybe they realized they got wrong or felt they got wrong. Maybe they can clarify aspects of their story that weren't coming out. It's a real opportunity for everyone, actually. So I'm going to dry my tears and I am going to focus on all of that. Because you guys, Eurovision is not canceled. Eurovision 2020 is canceled. And that is such a huge distinction. But this is where we're at. Eurovision is not going to take place. So while we recognize in the grand scheme of things this is not earth-shattering, we do want to pay homage to the people who have been working on Eurovision, who've been developing this fantastic show. Just shout out to NPO, everyone on Avrotros and the EBU. This show was really coming together. I think that's one reason it stings so bad. In recent years, shows maybe haven't run so smoothly. There's been a lot more controversy, but everything this year, from the slogan Open Up, which was all about celebrating diversity and the Netherlands' rich history, to the beautiful stage, which looked amazing. It was clearly going to be very impressive, to just the overall sense of order. In any case, I just really hope that Rotterdam will get its chance next year. The city has already come out and said we would like to host next year. I believe they've sunk in more than 20 million euros already into this project, and the governing board of the city said this afternoon they need around 6-7 million more euros to make it happen next year. I hope they can come up with that because they've done a great job so far, and it'd be wonderful to see them see this through. Now let's dive into what the EBU has actually said and their reasons for canceling the show. In the official statement, they say, "It is with deep regret that we have to announce the cancellation of the Eurovision Song Contest 2020 in Rotterdam. Over the past few weeks, we have explored many alternative options to allow the Eurovision Song Contest to go ahead. However, the uncertainty created by the spread of COVID-19 throughout Europe and the restrictions put in place by the governments of the participating broadcasters and the Dutch authorities means the European Broadcasting Union has taken the difficult decision that it is impossible to continue with the live event as planned. We are very proud that the Eurovision Song Contest has united audiences every year without interruption for the past 64 years, and we, like the millions of fans around the world, are extremely saddened that it cannot take place in May. The EBU, NPO, NOS, Avrotros, and the City of Rotterdam will continue a conversation regarding the hosting of the Eurovision Song Contest in 2021. We would ask people to bear with us while we work through the ramifications of this unprecedented decision and patiently await any further news in the coming days and weeks. We would like to pay tribute to all of the host broadcaster team in the Netherlands and our 41 members who have worked so hard on planning this year's event. We are all as heartbroken as they are that the Eurovision Song Contest will not be able to be staged in May, and know that the whole Eurovision family across the world will continue to provide love and support for each other at this difficult time." And as part of that support, we just have to again shout out to the host broadcaster. It was so obvious and so evident. They were pouring their hearts, their passion, their time, their money, their resources, everything into this. And I really hurt for them. I really hope that we get to see more of their vision in the months ahead, maybe what they had planned, or indeed what they have planned if it is indeed confirmed that they will host in 2021. I think a lot of the sting about this also stems from the fact that Eurovision offers such a sense of continuity. Every single year it's there. When there's been economic crises, when there's been regional conflict, when there have been dictatorships falling, Eurovision has always been present, something that people can rely on and count on. It sort of gives us a sense of what it is to be European, about the strange ties, the musical ties that connect all of us. It's really unfortunate. This is so much more than just a song contest, and all of you know that. I was really looking forward to hearing all the personal stories of the artist. We've talked about the year of Black excellence. We had Israel sending a singer, Eden Alen, whose parents had immigrated from Ethiopia. They had fled persecution, I believe. You have Sanit, a singer of Eritrean descent. You have Destiny Chukwunyere from Malta, who has a Nigerian father. We had this beautiful tapestry of people with amazing backgrounds coming together. The Greek Armenian goddess Athena Manoukian representing Armenia, Stefania Liberakakis, Dutch singer of Greek descent, Jean-Gu McCroy from Suriname to the world, as we keep saying. All these amazing stories that really embody, hashtag open up. I hope, and no, in fact, I am sure that they will get to tell their stories, because I'm hoping a lot of these countries will choose these singers again for the next edition. And even if they don't, all of these artists have raised their profiles so much in recent months, they'll be able to tell their own stories on their own terms later. We should say that some countries have responded by already confirming that they will be bringing back their singers who are supposed to sing this year. Spain's Blas Canto and RTVE hit the ground running. Moments after the announcement, I believe, we had confirmation. This is what the Spanish broadcaster RTVE had to say. RTVE supports and understands the difficult decision made by the European Broadcasting Union to cancel the European event due to the unprecedented situation created worldwide by the coronavirus pandemic. RTVE thanks the commitment of our representative Blas Canto for his dedication and for the work done to represent Spain at Eurovision 2020 and invites him to be the Spanish candidate in 2021. And Blas, I've just got to say, he was pure class in his response. He said, "I am very sorry because there is a very large job behind Eurovision, an incredible human team working for many months, not only in my candidacy, but globally. But I think this is the right thing. There are countries in which the epidemic is starting now, and it is not known when it will stop. A year of margin is the minimum to hold a Eurovision in conditions that Eurovision deserves." Other artists have also been confirmed. Stefania in Greece will be returning. Supergirl will slay. Django McCroy, he has also been confirmed. Now, as I'm filming this video, more confirmations are coming in. I apologize, I can't name them all now. Just be sure to revisit weebyblogs.com. We are covering this news daily, and we will continue to update you. Now, on the official Eurovision website, there is a frequently asked questions section, which is addressing some of the concerns that you guys are already raising. Now, obviously, things are in development. They've only just made the announcement, so they have to think about so many different things, and there's so many variables. One of these is tickets for Eurovision 2021. Now, executive producer for Event, Sietze Barker, he has already come out and made a statement about ticketing. He says, "We have now said that we should leave the tickets where they are at the moment, namely with the people. So if we manage to do Eurovision 2021, the tickets will remain valid." Now, this does seem fair. People who have already sunk money will not lose it. Obviously, some people may decide they don't want to go, so perhaps, I don't know for sure, refunds will be on offer for them. There are other people who said they could not attend this year, and they think it's unfair that they're locked out for next year. I mean, there are many different ways to look at this. They will obviously resolve these over time as more information comes in and issues arise. Bakker also made a very interesting point. He thinks that Eurovision 2020 artists should still have an opportunity to shine in some way. Obviously, not all of them will want to come back next year or be able to come back next year. Maybe some countries will decide that they will stage another competition. I believe Christer Bjorkman in Sweden has already offered his condolences to the Mamas for missing out on Eurovision. This would imply that Melodifestival in 2021 will take place and choose the act for next year. Bakker, the executive producer for Event, says, "That is a decision that is not ours, that is of the EBU. We think that all those artists have done their very best. They have all looked forward to the moment to shine on the stage for 3 minutes. We hope that we can come to an agreement with the EBU that is doing people right." Now, there are some other questions that have been asked. A lot of fans have been curious, why couldn't Eurovision be held remotely, with countries having their artists sing in studios locally and then it all being spliced together? The EBU has rightfully said that sort of goes counter to the point of Eurovision, which is about bringing countries together, having them in the same place, the same location. It would have taken away from the feel, the vibe, and in many ways that could have been unfair to the artist because they want their moment on that vast stage. And no offense to smaller countries, but it just doesn't feel the same to these artists to be singing locally in a small studio when they could be representing their country on that vast stage with everyone else. Then there's the question of, couldn't you have held this without an audience? Again, not having an audience wouldn't necessarily be fair to the artist because then they're performing to an empty room. But also, given the ban on large gatherings, you have to take into account the staff, producers, technicians, stagehands, crew. There would still be a lot of people gathering, so it would not work legally. They cannot circumvent the rule, having gatherings of more than 100 people. In terms of artists performing their songs next year that they wrote and composed for this year's edition, the EBU has actually issued a statement. They say, "This is to be discussed with the reference group and the participating broadcasters, and a decision will be communicated later." Honestly, I really do feel like artists will want another chance to create a new song. Perhaps some will say, okay, I'm going to go back with this, but these are creative people. they're constantly reinventing themselves, they're constantly delivering new music, and I think for their own professional development, they're not going to want to sing the same song in a year's time. Unless they were Loreen and had, a global hit like Euphoria. Look, you guys, if I keep blabbing, I'm gonna seriously lose it. So I'm gonna say goodbye. I just want you to know that on Weebly Blogs, we're gonna continue to honor the contestants of the 2020 contest. We're gonna continue to review their songs. We're gonna continue to have polls. We're just gonna get to the next day or two, let all of this sink in, but then we're gonna keep going because these artists deserve their spotlight, even if the show is canceled. And all of you Eurovision fans deserve a place where you can go to keep talking about the show, to keep listening to the music, keep just staying in dialogue. I know many of you are in quarantine or self-isolating, and we want to be there with you during this tough time. So that's our pledge to you. We're going to keep going, and we hope all of you will stay positive. Yeah, we will see you in the comment section. You know the drill. Be sure to follow, like, subscribe, all of that. But honestly, just leave a comment. Let us know you're doing okay. Let us know what songs you're listening to. We'll see you later. Bye.